I got to say Snapchat because I think
TikTok too. No, you're not.
That holds like 2%.
You like really big into Snapchat though.
I am
with the,
and I think it's because like Snapchat was one of the first like big things that actually stuck around. Like Vine didn't have me.
Yeah,
never did.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if it's the concept or what, but like Snapchat is just Snapchat, and I probably keep in contact with like 80% of people I talk to
on Snapchat.
Through Snap.
Okay.
I'm a big
Snapchat is
Snapchatter
like
too.
super niche though. Like I feel like Snapchat is its own thing away from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Because I feel like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, they're kind of like intertwined in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook owns Instagram.
Yeah.
Who owns Snapchat?
Snapchat.
I don't know his name. Snapchat. That's what
I think Snapchat is solo. But the thing about it is I don't know if you've noticed, but like every now and then, I get to swipe in, or if like my phone, get to swiping and stuff, I end up in the Discover page or the Spotlight. I threw a couple snaps in there just one time to see, get a couple views,
That's fine.
But it's literally TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Right.
People post like even TikToks in Spotlight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they're all kind of, they have to though to keep up, because otherwise then it's this is better than this and this is better than that. So if they all just keep adding these little things into there, then that's really the only way they're gonna stay afloat. But I think I probably use Snapchat than Twitter.
Okay. I can see Twitter.
Yeah.
I know you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to get into Twitter, so.
Yeah, me too. I was on Twitter back in like 2012, 13.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I was at like what? 10, 11?
I used to love Twitter.
No.
And I've been away for a while, but I'm back into it. We're going to get more into the Snapchat stuff today because there's some things I want to hear about the Snapchat, from our special guest today. But first and foremost, this is the People Being People podcast with Mona and Tyler and Mona. This is a podcast where we talk entrepreneurship, things that are going on in our life, things that are going on in the world, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you all's Monday is off to a great start. We're going to crush this week.
Yes.
I hope you guys are ready. I hope you have your goals set, all of that stuff in mind.
Your intentions, your focus.
Yeah, because you know what we believe in on this podcast. So get out there, crush it. Let's make it a great week. This is People Being People. Self-love isn't an easy journey.
Especially when you came from a really broken place inside of you.
It's an everyday joy. Yeah, I'm so ready for this one. Like I said, because this season, it's getting hot.
It's getting hot and
we
spicy.
got somebody real special on the podcast today. We got the one and only Davion Brooks.
Woo, woo, woo.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Welcome to the People Being People podcast. We wanted to get you on today because I feel like you have a story.
It's been a long time
And
coming.
you're a really good speaker. And I found that out at the Wake Showroom. I was very impressed with your speaking. So, we had to get you on the People Being People podcast because you can talk.
Yeah.
You can talk.
My first impression of Davion, before we really met and knew each other, was from his Snapchat videos. Because, he does the Motivation Mondays and everything. And your boy, my man's right here, his mind is a fortress.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
I love the things you talk about, empowering people and being vulnerable through doing that, sharing your story and all of that good stuff. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did you start the motivational Mondays on your Snapchat?
So how it really all started, I'll take it back to my sobriety date. For those of you who don't know, I am 281 days sober.
You even have it on your phone.
Hey, otherwise I'll lose track.
Yeah.
But
hey, we gotta give my man.
Focus, man.
Yeah, I'm focused, man. So, May 30th, I believe is the date. I quit drinking, just gave it up for multiple reasons. And then I met this dude named Jake. He's got his own little thing going on out there. But he lived in Sioux Falls at the time. And we became really good friends. And he did this podcast called Destroying Depression, I think is what it's called. And then just off of that, we kind of talked and, realized how much alike we were. And he's like, dude, do something. You know what I mean? I think he did something with a different day of the week. I can't remember exactly what it was called. And I'm like, all right, well then Monday's my day. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? Motivation Mondays. And then there was this whole little thing like, is it Motivation Monday or is it Monday Motivation? I'm like, well, it's motivational regardless.
Yeah,
you know, so that's kind of how I got started. And then I was like, again, like you guys said, you know, I can talk, whether I'm good at it or not, I do it a lot. And I don't have a problem with being on the camera.
Yeah.
I was doing it before anyway, you know, probably acting a fool. So I was like, let me just speak my piece. And, you know, and it not for everybody, you know, different people take things the way they take them. But, you know, I've had some people give me positive feedback, and whether it's one person or 10 people, you know, that makes me feel good. That's you know, that's fulfilling for me.
Yeah. So when it comes to your motivational Mondays, do you think you do it like for you too, to like help you to continue to grow because you're on your sober journey? So like,
yeah, absolutely. You know, bringing that up, like,
and you can go into
no, you're good. At times, like, I find myself not in the right mindset or not in the mindset that I want to be in. I don't know if you guys have probably noticed, but this past month or two, there's been a couple Mondays that I didn't really post a video. Yeah. And, you know, it eats me up more than anything, but like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I ain't signing no contract, nothing like that. So it is what it is. But doing that, you know, looking forward to it. And again, I'm busy. You know what I mean? So like I do put a lot into it. You know, I put thought and stuff into that. So, but when I do it, it opens up my mind. Yep. You know what I mean? When I might be shut off, you know, Mondays, you don't just wake up and since I say it's Motivation Monday, now you motivated. No, it is, you gotta get yourself into it. It's about mindset. It's about work. You have to get into it. So doing that for me, it's not only for everybody else, you know, and again, some people might just click through it, you know, which is cool. Yeah. But I know for me, it works for me, and chances are it's going to work for somebody else.
Heck yeah, it has inspired me. You know, some days when I'm going through it, I'm like, oh, okay, he got something positive to say. Yep. And but.
Would you say like the motivation, it sounds like these motivational Mondays has been something for you to look forward to on your journey of sobriety and stuff like that? Because like I'm thinking of right now Navy SEALs in this book that I read. I forget who the particular Navy SEAL was, but one of the things that they mentioned throughout the book was like just make it to the next meal when they were in BUDS, which is
what's BUDS?
BUDS is their basic training for Navy SEALs. They're in training. It's like the most gruesome training in the military.
Really? Yeah, you know? I think you did mention that. Yeah. And
one of the things this guy mentioned was, you know, his mindset would just be focused on making it to the next meal, you know, because a lot of guys, they'll start like a SEAL BUD, you know, basic training with like maybe 130 recruits and maybe like only 26 of them graduate by the end of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So to me, hearing that, it sounds like, you know, these motivational Mondays has been something for you to look forward to, and, you know, just has been like that thing throughout your journey that has, you know, strengthened you, you know, that has given yourself strength, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like looking forward to it. I don't even know how to put it exactly. I definitely look forward to it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it opens up my mind too. But there was a period of time where I think, it was like 5 or 6 months that I did one for every single Monday. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So, and for me personally, having a routine, like I make my bed before I leave my house, because if I don't, I'm going to think about it all day. You know what I mean? So like having a routine is very beneficial, like healthy mentally. You know what I mean? So having that, and we've talked about it before, how long it take to build a habit.
Right, 21 days, you know.
And how long for a lifestyle? How long for a lifestyle?
Lifestyle, every day.
Every day.
So it's something you got to wake up to, make that choice every day, you know?
Are you a messy or a clean guy? Because you making your bed, a lot of guys are messy. So I want to know, are you a messy or a clean guy?
No, sir. I am very, very clean. I'm
really?
a clean.
He's the same way.
Hey,
I am so thankful for Ty, like, because men are, Okay, maybe that's just stereotype.
Don't take
sorry.
it there.
I know.
I'm like, maybe I'm sorry, guys.
You over here being sexist and stuff. I'm talking about
I know. That's why I shut my mouth. But no, I just wanted to know because you're like, I make my bed every day. And a lot of people don't make their beds every single day. So I was like, wait, are you clean or messy?
Look, I grew up in a dirty neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to have my house looking dirty.
And you knew that for however long you was living there, 18, however long, you like, man, when I get out this house, man, I ain't gonna let mine look like this.
For real.
No, but I tell me a little bit more about like your childhood and like, okay, I want to know about your story with drinking and stuff. Like, so like.
Yeah, I like to tap in.
Yeah, when did you start drinking and like?
How did that start for you? Like, what was like the things that led
your life
up
story.
to
Let me take y'all back like Maybach. All right,
all right, let's get it.
All right, so I grew up basically from I bounced around like Mitchell, Sioux Falls, a couple places in South Dakota. 3rd grade, I went to Woonsocket, South Dakota, little town like 750 people. I graduated with 11, but anyway, 3rd grade on, I went, to Woonsocket. I played sports, football, track, basketball, soccer, all that. So like drinking, I didn't even work in high school as sad as it is.
I was sports,
and then, as a teenage kid, you're doing your summer things and whatever. So probably about my senior year at our senior party, maybe junior year, somewhere around there is when I like actually started to drink and like drink to get drunk, not like on some like, oh my gosh, like let's have a beer.
Right? Like, how it is in high school.
Yeah. Let's go to my dad's fridge.
Right.
No, we knew what we was getting into. We knew what we was doing.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't never really bad because, I wanted to go to college and I had a goal and I had a dream that I wanted to follow. So then I graduated, started working, was going to go to school. They offered me full time. I'm like, I didn't know, I was 18, 19 years old. Okay, I'll start working, make some money. To me, money, money's a motivation.
Yeah.
So I was doing my thing, living with 4 other 19-year-old friends, classmates, whatever, and stuff just fell out. We're drinking there, throwing parties, doing what we do. And then like just progressively throughout life, I started to just become good at drinking, like like I was a good time.
It's like a sport around here. I feel like
So I was the life of the party. Little did I know I was that without the alcohol. So then I just started drinking progressively, and then 21, 22 starts to hit you. You're grown now.
Yeah,
right?
like you're not a teenager.
Right. Well, you've been having all this fun and you ain't really been doing nothing. So that's all you really know to do. So then it was like, it was a lifestyle to me. I was doing, not only drinking, I was doing drugs, trying stuff for the first time, because I didn't have that growing up in a small town. So I was just, living the life, having fun, I would say. Well, then, like, again, I started getting older and stuff, and I met this girl that I really liked. I had already caught my little, my criminal charges. I had thought I had my fun. And I met this girl, and, we hit it off. And I kind of lied to her off top. She's like, what do you, she didn't know nothing about me. I'm not from Sioux Falls.
Oh, so you just
I was like, oh, I don't really come out that often, blah, blah, blah. Hey, all I knew was the first time she had seen me. So
you were you were playing catch.
I was trying to be, I was trying to be the guy that I knew I was capable of being and that I wanted to be.
Got it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Got
like,
it.
I knew, but anyway, so fast forward, we end up finding out that we were having a child. And she knew me. She knows me, for that matter. So she had kind of brought it up, like, you got to chill,
Yeah.
Along with the drinking came a bunch of other stupid decisions. So she's like, you got to chill.
Yeah.
All right. Well, having a kid, that's going to do it for me and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he was born, my son Hendrix, March 9th of 2019. And nothing really changed. I was still hanging with the same people. I was still going out. You know what I mean? I thought I was, take care of your duties at home. You can go out and party all night.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of realized that I had a problem. My family had realized it. It's in my blood. My mom is an addict as well. So I kind of realized, I'm like, all right, you need to snap out of this. But I did it for all the wrong reasons. I did it to try to mend a relationship. I tried to do it for my son, which you know, when you say it out, it sounds like the right reason.
But you have to do it for you.
Yeah.
You have to
Exactly.
do it for you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're still
Exactly.
going to be unhappy.
So I went to treatment, did a little 30-day, you know, inpatient thing, came out, and again, wasn't in there for the right reasons. Nothing really changed. I was sober for like a month and a half. I think I tried to say like 3 months, and then I started sneaking it. And after that, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
I started, you know, just not caring. I was losing my job. I wasn't fighting for my son. It's not like I gave up or anything like that, but I'll admit I was depressed. You know what I mean? So when certain things happen in life and you're an alcoholic like myself, you turn to alcohol.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about it, it doesn't do anything but make it worse.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, started going downhill, and then I hit rock bottom, what it was for me.
Okay.
I think the guilt, like, you know what I mean?
It was so
You
much.
felt like you were
Yeah.
doing good, and then that guilt of, like, you know,
And
relapsing
it goes
or
way
falling
back to
into
my
it.
16, 17, 18-year-old self.
Yeah,
Because
your inner
that's-
child.
Yeah, well, it's haunting me now.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be this, you know what I mean? So there was just so many things that I had to realize myself, and I could not do it
Come to terms with.
being intoxicated, right?
Yeah.
So I hit rock bottom, checked myself into treatment, like emergency. I'm like, you guys, I need to get in there. I was scared, like, honestly, for my life. I really was.
Did you
One
do
way
it
or
for
another.
yourself this last time?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, so you went, you're like.
I walked to the high point in Sioux Falls. I was at a good friend of mine's house, and I walked to the high point, and I just sat there. I just cried. Cried. And it was weird because I was wasted, right? So like, no, of course I'm gonna be crying, but it hit me, man. You know, like everything that I could lose. You know, I do have a lot to lose. You know, and I think people who think that they don't have anything to lose, unfortunately, don't see the bigger picture, because everybody has something to live for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I found what it was for me, and it was, you know, because I have. And it took me time to realize this, but over time I realized, like, you're better than this, and you knew that, but I got lost. And I mean, I'm only 24 years old, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still young. But long story short, not that was short, but I just, you know, I realized I had to find myself, and now looking back at it, like in retrospect, why would I want to drink? I can't think of a reason.
Yeah.
I done drank enough for all three of us.
For real. Like, it's not fun
And
anymore.
it doesn't benefit me.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, I'm now at a point in my life where it's about growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that wasn't doing nothing but hold me back. So that's kind of a little backstory on me and the drinking.
So I have a question for you, since you
have an
went.
answer.
So okay. So what do you think? How do you know someone is an alcoholic? Like, how many times should they be? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I only drink from Friday to Sunday or Friday to Monday, and I have 4 days off. I'm not an alcoholic. Like,
Or I only drink this, or you know
I
what I
only
mean?
drink-
I
I only
have a
drink
little
beer.
bit. I only have a little bit of this. You know?
Hey, what really gets me, I know some people that be talking about, I only drink shots. Okay, but 10 of them you're gone. Like you can't walk now. So now what?
Yeah.
But to me, and this is taking a little bit from treatment. You know, like I did go through an intense program that taught me a lot about it. But if you turn to alcohol, especially consistently, to fill voids or fix problems in your life, or not even fix them, to forget about them, if that's what you turn to, you know, that to me in a lot of texts is an alcoholic.
or what about, I want to go out tonight because I got a new promotion. You know what I
No.
mean? Like that too. Like people.
I took a
like,
shit today. Do you want to celebrate? like really, like
Exactly.
You know, I had a goldfish. If we're talking about things that don't really matter, you know,
Right.
not really. You know, promotion's cool, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's always you're gonna find a reason.
Yeah.
Just like if you want to win, if you want to achieve your goals, what are you gonna do? You're gonna find a reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So whatever you really want to do with your life, you're gonna do it, and that's why there has been a couple people who I think I've really touched with my story and like proving that I can do it. But there's also been people who I've tried to reach out to, you know, out of love or whatever, or maybe, you know, maybe concern for whatever it may be. You really can't. They gotta want it. They gotta.
Absolutely.
And the people who I think I have touched, they've came to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm learning too.
Yeah.
Like you cannot try to change someone. Like
Yeah.
no matter
No,
how.
sir.
Nah.
Yeah. And I think between the three of us, I think that, you know, we're all in different spaces in our life right now. Like a lot of the content that you put out on Snapchat, how you mentioned like how people might receive that, but it's like, what way should you receive the truth? If anything, I think that when it comes to the delivery, when you deliver things to people in a way that's raw and real, it has to be that way sometimes.
And it's
you know
cliche,
what I mean?
but the truth hurts.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does.
You can't rub nobody and stroke somebody's shoulders and back like, oh, yeah.
it's okay, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you
and I
gotta-
feel like the people. You can talk.
No.
I interrupt a lot.
No, it's okay.
Well,
You got a lot on your mind.
I know.
Yeah.
But I feel like the people that do get hurt when it comes to like certain stuff, because that's how they feel. They're,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
deep down, that's really what they're feeling. So they're like, you know, like F
But
you.
that's the other thing too, you know. A lot of people like the path to growth and all that to me is just so very interesting because I'll say, I'm still on the brink. Like I haven't got to where I want to be. You know what I mean? So you still, especially people who have been at their low or whatever and on their way up, you do see both sides of it. You know what I mean? So like for me, especially, like I get what it's like to hear something that directly applies to me, whether they intended for it to or not. And I'm gonna get like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. It's like
Type
your
shit.
ego.
You don't know me.
Like, yeah, for real. For real. It's the ego, okay?
No, we were talking about Twitter earlier. Like that's the one thing about Twitter that is really interesting because it's a lot of like the raw emotions and thoughts and things that people deal with. And I think that it's received on a certain way from other people because people are already thinking about these things. Like if we have something we're wrestling with in our life, we're already thinking about it. And when someone calls us out on it and the delivery comes off blunt or raw, you know, it might rub us a certain way because these are thoughts that have already been like brewing in our mind and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that could be a piece of it. Matter of fact, I know that's a piece of it.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if I know I'm doing something wrong and somebody called me out on it and it's in a way that is like, this is it right here.
Raw. Straight to
Knock it off.
Yeah.
It don't feel good.
No, it don't. You're
It ain't
right.
supposed to.
No,
You're
it's
right.
not.
It wakes you up though.
Yeah.
You know what I
you're
mean?
Like, damn.
Well, and that's, you know, sometimes you, in a sense, you fall asleep on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to hear that truth to wake you up. Like,
Yep.
oh, like you got to, boom, you got to snap out of
Yep,
it. Like,
yep.
I needed
Yeah,
that. That
yeah.
didn't feel good, but I needed that.
I
You know what I
needed
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I am right now in my life. It's like, I have based my life around personal growth and I love seeing people win. And through this journey of like helping others, that's just how I'm going to deliver it because it's like, one, I know these are things I can back up because I'm actively doing them in my life. You know what I mean? And if you are actively doing these things and your actions and your work can back it up, it's like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not be truthful with your friends and the people that are around you
That's a
and
leader,
offer
bro.
them
That's a
value
leader.
because I think you're doing everyone around you a disservice if you aren't, you know, doing those things.
Yeah.
Like if you aren't counting your blessings and being grateful for where you are, then, you know, what's the sense of it?
What's
like
the sense?
success, you know, financial freedom, happiness, all of that stuff, I think it isn't worth it if you can't share it with anyone else.
Exactly.
What's
You're
the
being
point of it?
greedy. I
Yeah.
feel like you're being,
Well,
greedy.
and you know, I don't think that like kind of with what you're saying of being successful, maybe a lot of people don't, you know, in a cross between finding themselves and knowing what it is that they want. You know what I mean? So people can't find that. And I think they get lost in that void.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is hard to get out. I'm, you know, right here. It is hard to get out. You know what I mean? But what do you do?
But I
You know what I
know.
mean? You, like I said, you can try, but also then you stop worrying about yourself and you're more concerned about, you know, trying to fix
The
somebody
voids,
else's life.
yep,
And
yep.
if you either one of y'all have done that, it's not.
Exactly. So like what would you say your mindset is right now? Like where's your headspace at right now? Like what in life, present moment, you know, like
So
are you getting nervous?
no, it ain't even. It's hard to. it's crazy that you guys bring this up because this is what I have been thinking on so heavily. Like, I feel like, I guess the best way I could describe it is I'm in a transitional phase in my life, right? And I'm going to have several more. I've already had several, you know what I mean? But that's where I'm at in my life. And it's a good one, you know what I mean? You know, I've fought for things that I love. You know, I've been able to, I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I'm so able to do things. I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do, or that I maybe thought I wasn't able to do. But, you know, I'm working more on focusing on myself, my career, and truly what, like, is self-absorbed as it needs to sound.
Absolutely.
Worrying about myself.
Yep.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Listen to the podcast tomorrow.
It's been listened.
We just talked. Yeah, we got more. But I was watching this like keynote or whatever by Grant Cardone, the homie. You know, he's like, I love Grant Cardone. I love his energy and everything that he brings. But he had this conference or something going on, and Kevin Hart was one of his guests. And he said Kevin Hart came up to him and he was like, man, I love what you're doing. You're blessed, or something he said to him. And Grant Cardone was like, everyone's blessed. I'm just proving it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everyone has the opportunity.
If you woke up this morning, if you're listening to this podcast on this Monday morning, you're blessed.
You're blessed.
And you have to prove it, though. You know, you got to put the work in. You got to do the steps.
Yes.
And it takes work.
It really does.
It takes work to prove it and to claim those blessings. Like, we're all blessed. We have life. You know what I mean? It's many things that we can count in our life right now. That is a blessing.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, I think when you start to count the failures too, that's what you can't do, because I think a good thing to realize is, as blessed as each and every one of us are, we are going to fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to fail, but learning how to prevail and come out and take that not as a hit, but as a really a gift. Yeah, a gift, a lesson. You know what I mean? Because some of the hardest things I've been through, alcoholism, you know what I mean? I still, every day, that doesn't end. You know what I mean? But like, I'm blessed to have, as weird as it sounds, be an alcoholic, because now I know what it's like. Now I've been in these dark spots. Now I can understand how other people might think or feel, and I can spread a message. So everything is really a gift in a way, you know, even our failures.
Even the fail. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And speaking of like your career and stuff, do you want to help people when it comes to alcoholism or addiction, not even alcoholism, addiction?
Yeah. You know, for me personally, so I just not even a year ago started working in sales, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm really good at it. Yeah. So and part of it is because my ability to communicate and, you know, talk and whatever it is, you know, whether I'm explaining something to somebody, I do it well. Yep. So I really like that. So in terms of my career, I don't know, but with like addicts and alcoholics and stuff like that, with my mom being one, I feel like I do have some biased feelings that I don't know, or maybe some bitterness towards the idea of an alcoholic or addict that I don't know if I would feel comfortable with really actually trying to like help. Yeah. I mean, spreading the message. It is what it is. But I think that, and I think it would be wrong of me to go in with that, because it's kind of like, here I am, you know, let's say it's 5 years down the road and I'm big dog, I'm 5 years sober and I'm this and that. Now let me tell you about you because I'm bitter. You know what I mean? And I do it to myself. I've beat myself up before, and I don't want to direct that towards people. Yeah. So I think if I got too deep into it now, maybe motivational speaking or public speaking or something like that, and for a career,
no. So do you see yourself with working?
AT&T?
Yeah, with AT&T for a while.
They better shout out AT&T. Put me on a commercial or something. I don't know what that girl's name is on the commercial, but hey, if they want to throw me in the commercial, no. But
I like the way you answered that.
It depends. You know, I did just get a promotion that, you know, is, I guess I'll say, uncommon for a person who's been working there 10 months. You know, I kind of an area sales lead. I guess, you know, I run not run. Look at me thinking I'm big. But you know, I travel. You know that they do need my help and my knowledge and stuff. So and again, I'm blessed. Like I kind of stumbled across this job right when I stopped drinking, and it was like, hey, God was throwing touchdowns.
That was
I was out there, Randy Moss and touchdowns. You know what I mean? Yes, so I caught that blessing, and you know, not only like my promotion, but my manager, you know, like there's just a lot of blessings that job has entailed for me. And there's room for improvement, so I'm going to continue to do what I do
and just see where life takes you.
Yeah. Now, sales, I think that's the big answer. I'm good.
You're like, I'm good.
That skill set is the best skill set that any human being could acquire. Like, look at the world. That's how the world turns. That's how the market operates. You know,
the market,
economy operates.
Sales, market. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sales. That's everything.
I like
right
sales.
there.
I feel like, you know, with sales, I'm pretty decent with that too. 'Cause I'm very personable. I like to be personable and very friendly, and you know. So I feel like
that I was waiting for you to say something, because I have seen the people who come in, and not just at what I do, but like other places, who like might seem like they would be perfect, like, oh my gosh, like this person can talk, this and that, but I don't know what it is, but you in sales, like you have to have it. You know, you like kind of like you said, you really nice. Hey, look, not saying you got to be mean, but sometimes you have to tell people. Like,
really,
well, and then you got people who are indecisive and stuff like that. And so, like, knowing how the mind works, which is weird because it's just like I sell phones. Like, it's not that, it's not that serious.
No,
but
it really is,
people,
though.
like,
it really is.
It's a skill set. You do have to lead
when
people.
that customer walks in the door, how would they, you don't know. Their dog might have died today. You know what I mean? They might be in a bad mood. And your first, you know, whether it's your greeting or whatever, like,
Go through your sales pitch. What do you do when someone walks in? Come on. Come on.
So I hit them with the little, I put the little gangster up to the door. You know what I'm saying? Look,
that's a good intro right there.
I put a little
loosen
lean
them
into
up.
it.
Loosen
and then
them up
got
a
like
little
this.
bit.
We got like this big table in the middle, kind of like this one we're sitting at right now. Nah, I'll lean up on it. Hey, look. Hey, I'll lean up on it. Welcome to AT&T. How you doing?
Right. Gotta get them with the juice.
I'm serious. Hey,
that's the best thing you can do in sales.
Bleep that out though, because people gonna try to use that.
Yeah, if you can get them laughing though, like if you could get the customer laughing and feeling comfortable, they're gonna forget about everything.
And that's what I'm saying, because like that initial impression it's everything.
Yep.
But you gotta know like what impression are you gonna give, and it's not like, it kind of sounds like here I am, I'm shape shifting, like I'm a Teen Titan or something, like being different people, but like it's just how you just simply interact with other people. You know what I mean? Like in Sioux Falls, so I grew up in Woonsocket, 700 people. Like, it's farmers. That's it. There's literally 3 bars, 2 gas stations.
Yeah.
Like, so I know how to interact with that demographic of people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, older white folk and stuff like that, like Midwest type stuff. But also, you know, all kinds of people. I can
You have to, because you're dealing with so many different personality traits when it comes to sales. When I was selling vehicles, I trained with some of the top sales professionals in the States. And the number one thing we would focus on is just the different personality traits, and like just in dealing with the customer and being able to read them and being able to pick up certain body language and certain words and that sort of stuff.
It's definitely a gift.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be intuitive too. Like you have to know people. Like you have to,
I know some people that like naturally has it too without ever have taken any classes that just has that, you know, trait. And that's one thing I noticed by you, like even through the Snapchats and, you know, just seeing you your videos on Snapchat for the first time. I think that's something that comes natural to you. So I can see you doing really well in that field.
Yeah.
I think this is weird. It's not. But like I've had a lot of people tell me, you know, like if let's say I say I'm good at my job or whatever, or they come to me about my Snapchats, for example, they'll tell me like, you're so good at spreading your message, or this and that, and I'm like you know, trying to be humble, like thanks, you know, whatever. Yeah. And they have said like, you're a good looking person, right? You're attractive, and your voice. So there's kind of like you were saying, like there's certain things that like you have and
you can use
that
it
you
to your
can't
power,
really-
to your advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. My grandma always used to tell me, salesmen are bad people. You need to use your for good. I know,
Man,
grandma.
let me tell,
Here I am out here slinging iPhone 12 Pro
let me
Max.
tell you about my experience in
For
sales. Bro. Like, man, there was this one day I was talking to Mona about it the other day. So I was talking to this lady on the phone. This was like when the Honda CRVs first came out. Everybody wanted one, and they were hard to come by. So we happened to have one. One just came in. Lady hit us up right away. I pick up the phone. I'm like, yeah, we got that vehicle in stock, this and that, getting her, information, because the first thing you want to do when someone calls in is you got to get them there.
Yeah.
You can talk on the phone all day long, but if they aren't there, you're not getting nothing done. So, yeah, so I schedule an appointment with her and everything. And I come to work one day, boom, she pop up like 2-3 days early with her husband. And yeah, so they were looking for me. They come up to me. I'm Tyler. Hey, all my little greeting, all of that sort of stuff. And her husband just walks right past me, and he's just pacing around and just looking around. I'm like, okay, I know what type of day this is about to be, because you know what I mean. Salespeople in general, and vehicle salespeople at that, there's that stigma that follows it. So I'm walking around with these people. I'm doing the whole, walk around on the vehicle at the time, and they're just picking everything apart, every little ding, scratch,
Kicking the
dent.
tires.
Yeah, all of that. Bro, they were going in the glove box, looking at the stuff that was left over in the car. I'm just thinking, like, what are y'all doing? So throughout the deal, I'm talking to my sales manager, and he's like, man, Tyler, like, just get it done. Like, yeah, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm like, all right, you think so? So it came a point where he had to go talk to him. And he came back to me. He like, man, why the hell are you bringing in these sort of people? Bro, I left the dealership that day just feeling like, man, we need to put a boxing ring in the middle of the sales floor, right on the showroom floor. And if you beat me, you can get that deal you want. You know what I mean?
And that's
like, the dude didn't even shake my hand. He wasn't looking at me in my eye, nothing. He was just mad. Like, dang, y'all just
You're
showed
just mad
up.
at the world.
Just showed up randomly, just pissed off, So I know what you mean about some of that stuff.
Well, and that's the thing. Sales in general, it can be cutthroat. Like, especially like me right now, I think in my company, I work with like 400 or 500 like employees, like sales consultants, whatever. And I've finished top 10, top 5. I finished number 2 one month, right?
Yeah.
So it was a target on my head,
Yeah.
Like, people were calling me out and this and that, and I love it. I love it, but also there's people who will do snake things too. You know what I mean? Like, sales is cutthroat.
I've been through that. Yeah,
and then you got, like you're saying, you got your customers who are just assholes, man. Like, why?
And you still have to put a smile on your face.
Yep.
Like,
and that's hard for me sometimes. That's my downfall. Like, well, it's like, because I got this shirt on that you can talk to me like that. Wrong. You're not right. That's not. No,
bro. You know where I drew the line? There was this one time we had this person in. He was looking at pickup trucks. I drew the line when I come to find out this person had mental disabilities, and my sales manager, he was like, just get the deal done, that sort of stuff. That's where I drew the line. I'm like, no, car sales not for me. I gotta get
really trying to. Oh,
yeah. After that, I'm like, all right, peace, y'all. I'm about to go do my photography, filmmaking.
He thought about it. He's like, nah, see, this ain't gonna play out right. He said, I'm gonna just, you know what? I'm gonna try something else.
Not to say you deal with that, but that experience was crazy. I'm like, dang, I'm really over here like doing this.
Like, what kind of feels wrong?
Yeah, I know. It did feel wrong. And granted, he was capable enough to walk into a dealership and have all of his things together. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, it was just
it was more of a take advantage of the situation. Not get it done, but take advantage of it.
Like, that's why
man.
when
people,
bro, on the real,
people.
like, when any of my homies these days are buying a vehicle, I'm like, before you buy the car, call me, let me know, all of that.
For real, or somebody who knows something about cars, because like, they really out here selling lemons, man. Lemons.
Yeah.
Pull up in a lemon.
Yeah. Vehicles are the worst investment. Like, at the end of the day,
you need one though.
You need one, but
they depreciate so fast. They're like, expensive.
It's a high ticket item, and they're like the worst investment because we forget the fact that it's a machine. That thing, when you drive that thing off the lot, it depreciates 20 to 30% right away. You know what I mean? And I think there's like this status behind having like a nice vehicle or all of that stuff. And this is coming from somebody that loves cars. Like, I really like cars. But yeah, through selling vehicles, just all of the stuff that, you know, I learned, I'm like, dang, this is really how it is, you know?
That's, I guess that's just how sales is. I'm just
You either got it or you don't.
You got it or you don't.
Hey.
But yeah, no. What should we talk about, guys?
What in the world? Somebody get this girl.
I'm sorry. It's an off Monday, okay?
That's okay. That's okay to have those. We have our off Mondays. We have our off every day.
Everybody say a prayer for Mona right now.
That's
out there.
Hey, I'm usually good with talking, like very good with just keeping the conversation going. I can keep talking, but you know, sometimes it's just like,
You hit that wall.
yeah.
Speaking of, all right, leave it to me. Let me put my cape on.
How about this? When
Okay,
was
what's
the
up?
last time you hit a wall
Oh, man.
with life?
Shoot, today about 2 o'clock. No, I'm playing. But,
Hey, it happens.
you know,
Yeah.
the last time I hit a wall, I guess was the last time that I felt like I really did something significant. I hit a wall.
Yeah, that
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's next?
Yeah.
And that, you know, going back to what you asking me, like, where are you at right now in your life? I'm in that what's next phase. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't know, but I hit that wall, and what it does, like, so you think of it literally, you run into a wall. When you finally break through that wall, you don't know what's on the other side, right?
Yeah.
It's something completely different. So like, just keeping an open mind, you know what I mean? Working diligently. You can't stop working, because the minute you stop, everything stops.
Everything stops.
And
everything starts crumbling,
Right,
and it's
you
chaos.
want to be self-absorbed, act like the world revolves around you. Well, when you stop, it stops.
It stops. It's true.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Okay, so you were saying how like right now you're kind of in that phase of like hitting a wall pretty much, and you're like, what's next? So are you in the present mindset, or do you look more so in the future mindset, or present or future? Do you get held back by looking in the future?
No, I don't think that's a little contradicting.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. No, you can get it too ahead of yourself, right?
Yeah.
You can get ahead of yourself because there's stepping stones. You can't just. We aren't, what's a leapfrog or whatever, like it doesn't just work. Well, anyway, so you got to have these little stepping stones. And again, some of them stones are going to be wobbly, right?
Yeah.
So like you have to, it's just about finding what's next, you know?
Yeah.
It's not, I personally don't really like to think into the future. You kind of have to, in a sense, to kind of have a goal.
A
little bit, a future goal, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's, as in like, it's not done right now. But like, this is my goal for the future, right? But then you have to backtrack and think about, okay, what can I do tomorrow? What can I do right now to get started on this, right?
Yeah.
And then progression forms, and then it becomes habitual, and then now you know, like for me, like my last thing was going to court for visitation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was stressful.
Oh, I bet.
Like super stressful.
Yeah.
Lawyer this, lawyer that, and then the process of going through court. Like neither one of us are bad people by any means, right? So like it's not like it, but like they make you feel like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I low key told my attorney like do we have to go this far? And he's like that's how it is. You know, that's how it is.
In court,
and then I saw what her attorney was trying to play me. I said, so this is how we gonna do it. But that's just how it is. Yeah. End result was nothing major, you know what I mean? But it's just it was a lot. It was mentally exhausting for me, right?
So you were drained. You were probably.
It's a lot, but it's worth it though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You,
and that's
you got your son. You know,
and that's the thing. I kind of look at life like what I've really been working on is looking at life, not like why me or poor me. I talk about that a lot on my Motivation Mondays. Like, if you look at your life like that, then you're gonna be stuck in that bottomless pit of like, why? You know what I mean? Yeah. Why me? Why me? And the more that you ask yourself that, the harder it is to get out of that and look at life, everything that happens in life, either as a blessing or a lesson or both. You know what I mean? So like, again, fighting for my son, like going periods without seeing him, like it grew my love for him in a way. Like I didn't really think it was possible to love that little boy anymore. But like, I'm telling y'all, like the first time that I saw him, the first time that I got to take him home and, you know, we got to have a little daddy son day. Like the first time that happened, like I was high. Like, you feel me? Like I felt so good, man. Like I felt like I could accomplish anything. Not that my love has died for him anymore, but that high, you know what I mean? That starts to die down after a while. You know, now I'm kind of falling into my routine. Okay, here I am. Now I'm getting my visitation. Now what? I know this isn't it, but what do I need to do next?
Now
it's like what puzzle pieces do I have to fit together in order to, you know, find my next
find your next.
So just through some of the things you've experienced and someone that might be going through that right now in their life that are, you know, trying to find the next step or that are, you know, battling with something in their life, whether it's overcoming an addiction, you know, whether it's getting a new promotion at work. What are some words that you would have for those people out there?
I got this from Russ, I think. So like, I can't sit here and act like I said it, wish I did. But if nothing works, keep working, right? So like, if nothing works, keep working. So let's say, I don't know, let's say you're trying to climb Mount Everest, right?
Right.
And you get a quarter of the way up and you're kind of at that point where like, do I go up this way or should I go up this way? And you make that wrong move and you fall. Are you going to lay down at the bottom of Mount Everest or are you going to get back up and go the other way?
Right.
Right? Yeah. And shit, if that doesn't work, you will find another way. Yeah. And eventually, you know what I mean? All that you're doing really is you're teaching yourself lessons. Yeah. Now you know that doesn't work, so you got to try something else. And that applies to everything in life.
So what if somebody get down on their luck from not being able to, you know, do that thing? Like, say there's a lot of people out there that feels as if they're physically incapable of doing certain things or mentally incapable of doing certain things. They might not look the best or they look too good, so they're not taken as serious. What, you know, how would you say that someone, you know, can overcome those things? Because these are real challenges that people deal with out there. So, like, for instance, you brought up Mount Everest. What if, you know, someone felt like they're physically incapable and they quit? Should they just stop? You know what I mean? Just
that's a good one. You got me wishing I would have used a different analogy rather than Mount Everest.
That's a good one. That makes you think.
Because I mean, like, if you really want to break it down, there's always a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If your leg is broken, what do we got to do? You know what I mean? There's a way. Do we have to build a hoist to get you up here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where surrounding yourself with good people, they can be your hoist at times. Okay. You know what I mean? To help you when you're down.
Right.
Because when you're down and you're depressed, you feel alone, right? Yeah. You feel like no one cares. You feel like this, you feel like that. And like I said, the truth of it is that there are people out there, but what we got to remember is that these people have lives too, right?
Absolutely.
So and what I've noticed, a lot of times when people are down the most, that one, whether it's a friend, a family member, somebody, it might be a stranger, but that person comes and picks you up, right? Mm-hmm. So there's always a way, but and this is for me personally. This is what has worked for me.
Right.
You got to take a step back and look at how you're treating yourself first. Again, worry about yourself. You know what I mean? Because you might feel a certain way because of, you know, you're not taking care of yourself. Whether you're in a toxic relationship, you know what I mean, that can hold a lot of people back and they can feel like they're worthless. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to get out of that. It's always, you got to look at what do you have to do. You know, again, getting to Mount Everest. It's not just you look up and you walk straight up. Right. There's ways
baby steps.
There's the baby steps. There's ways that you got to maneuver around life. You know what I mean? To find what works for you.
Yo, I feel like life in general can be like climbing Mount Everest.
It is.
Especially you know, for people like ourselves, parents, you know, you have siblings, different family members that are dealing with things. Things can be really tough at times. And I think just, you know, taking a step back sometimes and like you said, just really diving within and overturning some of those stones that haven't been touched and figuring yourself out, I think is the best thing that we can do for ourselves, because our mind is a fortress, like I mentioned. Like my man's Davion here. And if we aren't working on that thing, if we aren't actively exercising our mind, we aren't preparing ourselves for some of these things that might come our way. Because life, again, it can be like Mount Everest sometimes.
You get stagnant.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't be the victim of your emotions, because if you allow your emotions to override your life, like you're going to be in this turmoil all the freaking time.
And it's
like,
dark.
Yes.
It's dark down there.
And that's why I've learned, like, you, in a sense, have to be cold to a lot of situations to think logically. And I'm in that.
Or straightforward, like you were
yeah,
saying.
or straightforward, yeah.
I was saying to my homie earlier today, actually, shout out Boris, but I said thoughts don't make sense if you ain't applying pressure, right? And like a thought, you know what I mean? Like if you're thinking to yourself, it should make sense. But, you know, let's say you're thinking about whatever it is that you're thinking about, maybe your next move. If you don't apply pressure, then it's, again, it's just a thought. I think that even when you're down, you know, whatever it may be, like, I know it's hard. And I can't even sit here and say that I have a at-home remedy to get out of that dark place. You know what I mean? But you know,
routines.
That's healthy too.
Yeah, routines.
Take care of yourself mentally.
Developing, you know, good habits, like you said. Those routines, having a go-to. A lot of us don't set ourselves up for those sort of things. Like if I'm experiencing a dark moment, these are my steps that I'm going to take that is going to help me through this and process this thing. You know, we aren't setting ourselves up for success, just like we should plan and set goals for our work life, our personal life. I want to go on this vacation in a year. I want to get this promotion. Why aren't we setting up things that we actively should do when we're feeling depressed, when we got our feelings hurt, that sort of thing? We have to have things that we set up for ourselves in order to overcome and to be able to manage these things. And I think that's the best thing we can do for ourselves. Like, we set up things for everything else. Why not set up some steps for, you know, when we're feeling sad or we wake up and we just feeling like it's a shit day. It's the worst day ever.
Period.
Yeah.
But you have a choice though.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to. You know what I mean? Like, how are we going to feel about ourselves? Are we going to choose to feel down, or are we going to choose to, you know,
go up,
turn it on? You know what I mean? Turn it on. And again, baby steps too. Like, progress, not perfection. You
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we got to reward ourselves for those small steps.
Absolutely.
And like, that's one thing that I'm really becoming, you know, bigger on, because I think right now, just where we are in our journey, like, things are getting pretty good. And I know a lot of people that start companies, they aren't blessed enough to experience some of these things. And I have to wake up in gratitude for that every day. You know what I mean?
Same.
And I choose to. And I'm saying this stuff today because, one, I want people that feel the same out there. I want them to have the tools and the necessities to be able to get through these things, because it's enough out here for all of us. And, you know, if your Monday morning isn't off to a great start, if this is a bad day for you, if last week was just the shittiest week, if it felt like the shittiest week of your life, take some of these things. Start setting up things that you actively can be doing to help pull yourself out of that hole that you might be digging for yourself
Whether
at the moment.
that's just, you know, a nice hot bath, some bacon, No, I meant baking.
Oh,
She said some bacon strips.
How I said it to
I was trying to have a little slang, you know.
Fry up some bacon.
So I was like, a hot bath,
Fry
maybe
some bacon
but
have you ever baked bacon though?
he actually taught me.
Fire.
Yeah.
It's way better than just on
again,
the
let's
freaking
get the
griddle,
bacon.
right?
Hey, it's
so
easier.
hey, either bacon or, you know, bake.
Extra crispy.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah. But like set up roadblocks for yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Have like a go-to. Communicate that with your family or the people that are around you. Like, hey, this is my boundary, or these are some things that I set up for myself to do, or these are moments that I might need you. Could we like do these sort of things together to like help me at these moments. Accountability partners, that sort of stuff.
Accountability partners are so important.
Yeah.
Like you need to have one.
Davion mentioned having the right people around you.
Yes, and I was just going to say that too.
Having the right people around you and preparing, Tyler, like just knowing that those failures are going to come. So like you said, like be prepared. Be prepared for these downfalls in life and just know that once that happens, when it's not an if, because those downfalls are going to happen. No successful person out here, or happy person rather, has not had a downfall. So knowing what your next move is going to be, you know what I mean? Staying motivated in whatever way it is, whether it's running, baking.
Bacon some.
You should replay that though. He was like, bacon? His eyes lit up. Bacon?
I was like, wait, what? You over here getting hungry.
Your stomach growling.
It looked like you had something to say. What does Mona have to say?
Why am I on the spotlight? No. I think you were talking about preparing for the worst. I feel like in a sense, when you expect the worst, that's going to happen. So I feel like manifest only positive things. So tell yourself, no, more positive things are going to happen to me than negative. And so that's what I was saying. That's what I'm training my mind, because I'm very pessimistic. I'm not going to lie. And I'm really trying to train myself to be optimistic. And like, I just found that like being pessimistic and like, expecting the worst, fucking 2 weeks later, fucking 2 weeks later, some bad shit happens. You know what I mean? So like,
she tries to cover up her mouth. I know, for the F-bomb and says it 3 more times.
Because your eyes were like, so.
Well, I think I feel where you're coming from. But I hear you, but life is life. Things are going to happen. I feel you though. Viewing things optimistically and not getting down on your luck when these things happen. I think that's what you're saying. And having like that good outcome in mind. Like I am going to get this promotion. I am going to overcome this depression that I'm experiencing at the moment.
Because I'm just thinking right now, okay, say you're expecting for the worst, right? And you're like, oh, okay, you applied for this new promotion, right?
I got you.
And you're like thinking to yourself, I'm not going to get it. So when you don't get it, you're going to be more so in the dumps than rather if you were thinking positive and you didn't get it, you'd be, all right, what's my next move? That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I got you.
Yeah,
I got
like,
you.
That's true.
Because me personally, I'm never expecting for the worst in that way. I'm never like, our business isn't going to scale, or
because your work ethic is different.
Yeah. And it's like, that's just not me. That's just not how I operate. I'm not waking up in the morning like, what if weight doesn't scale?
No, we waking up in the morning.
Yeah, that's not how I'm thinking. But not to say that there's those ups and downs throughout life. That's just a given. That's going to happen throughout life. And I think that we've all been on the earth long enough to understand that things happen outside of our control. Yeah. You know what I mean? By the time it
took me 24 years.
It takes people, I've heard throughout life, people that's made it to 80, 90, it takes their whole life to realize certain things and to be able to appreciate certain things. And I think it's about appreciating those things at the moment, so that when these, let's say, bad things happen to us, we don't get down on our luck, or we aren't expecting the next worst thing to happen. Yeah. Instead, we're telling ourselves things, I'm going to get through this, or I'm still going to get that promotion. It may have not happened today, but it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. But still tell yourself more positive.
Yeah, tell yourself
rather
those
than
things.
Negative. Because
this Monday
you don't need
morning.
to be negative, Nancy, you know?
What does
life
it do?
Life is lame that way. It's chaos that way.
It doesn't get anything done. It doesn't get anything done. It's counterproductive to beat yourself up in that way. Oh, what if I don't get this promotion? What if I fail this final?
Self-criticism. Well, that too, either thinking you're going to do bad, or then when you do bad, because like I fuck up sometimes, you know what I mean? But when that happens, if you can instead correct yourself, and again, whatever it is in life, correct yourself and continue to move forward instead of like, man, like, God, I'm an idiot. Right. I'm so stupid. Like, there's no way I'll never pass another test, or there's no way I'll ever, get this promotion, like, then that's, the mind's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
I just had deja vu, by the way. That was crazy.
I think I did too.
Really?
Tell me, is it deja vu? Justin Bieber.
hey, that joint hit. He dropping a new album soon.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
I heard the Tory Lanez one last night.
That man's his heart is broken.
I know. It was for real. No, I heard it this morning while I was cleaning. My bad.
Right.
It still slaps though.
Yeah. He never misses though.
No, he doesn't. He's versatile.
Yeah,
super versatile.
I feel like every one of his songs, I've never been like, ew, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like
he never misses. I've been watching him since like 2010 or something like that, and I can't experience. I can't experience. What the hell? I can't imagine what he's experiencing. You know.
I know.
That's tough.
So no matter what's going on in his life, shout out to him.
Shout out to Tory.
And Drake just dropped too. I haven't checked out the new Drake.
I haven't checked out Drake.
You are lying to me right now.
I have not dived into it yet.
Yo, real quick, this man Drake said. So you know how he got the beef with Yeezus and Kanye and all that?
Yeah.
Bro, hold up. Matter of fact,
he has beef with Kanye?
Oh, for sure. Well, you know why though?
Why?
Little Kim K getting a little nasty, you feel me? For real.
Really?
Yeah, so listen, Drake came out with this song
it's some crazy stuff that happens in
with
Hollywood.
Lil Baby.
I wouldn't put it past.
With Lil Baby, he said, yeah, I probably should go link with Yeezy. I need me some Jesus, but soon as I start confessing my sins, he wouldn't believe us.
Oh, snap.
He really said that?
He said that on a track.
Oh.
And then he said, sins.
Snap.
I got sins in my life.
Hey, Kanye, you better go meet with him, bro. Go meet with him because you know what's going. She trying to get that
or
house.
Drop an album.
Go meet with him.
For real, or drop
She trying to get that house. Go meet with him. Record the conversation, and when the lawyers and stuff hit you up, hit them with that audio file.
Yeah, don't be letting these light skinned men take over. Hey, once Drake take over, it's over. Once he get Kim K, that's his final Infinity Stone.
Man, but bro, thank you so much for joining us on
I appreciate
the podcast this morning. This your man, Davion Brooks. Hey, I want to congratulate you on your journey of sobriety.
Thank you very much.
You've been doing excellent. I love the Motivation Mondays. Yeah.
Hit one of those.
I don't know which one it is.
Which one? No.
Oh, I see y'all finna clown me.
No.
Hey, we ain't mean to hit you with that. This the one we look. Woo. Yeah. There we go. That's more like it. Hey, let's hit him with that. Hey, we gotta turn them up real quick because you know what I mean. That was a mistake. My bad, bro. Forgive me.
You good.
Hey, I love you.
You know
man.
what though? In my journey, man, it's got to be full of laughs. It's got to be full of applause. Again, full of failures. And all I can do is continue to learn, keep an open mind, and spread my message. So again, I thank you guys for having me on here.
Hey, bro.
Hey, thank you for coming.
You just took one for the team because for the next guest, if we got to get an applause, I know it's this button.
Hey, I'll be the test dummy. That's cool.
Hey, Davion paving the way for y'all out here.
Yes, sir.
This is People Being People, everyone. Make it a great week. Let's get to it. Self-love isn't an easy journey.
Especially when you came from a really broken place inside of you.
It's an everyday choice.